Joined by Hofstra head coach Speedy Claxton and junior guard Aaron Estrada. Coach, your opening thoughts about today's game, please.
Great win. Great team effort. We got contributions from everyone. See Caleb Brezza, 7 assists, 1 turnover. Omar Severo hit a big 3, hit a big floater in the lane. Good to see Zach shooting the ball well from the 3-point line. Aaron had a big game as usual. But Dubois, I mean, he was the one for the night, man. I thought he had a great game. He was struggling on the defensive end to begin with, but then he really locked in, and I thought he made some timely stops on Sims. But that's a good team over there, so I'm proud of my guys to beat the first place team and get us back in the mix, you know, in the upper echelon of the league. Good effort for us.
Coach, Zach coming out and exploding in the second half when your offense kind of hit a bit of stagnation, what did you guys say or do to him to get him going?
I mean, he's a good player. You just put him in positions to where he can score the basketball, and he's gonna be able to score, and that's what he did tonight. You know, we've been missing those you know, that 15 to 20 point mark from him, and we're glad to have him back because it was missed.
Aaron, you've coined the term Mr. Midrange, but the past 2 games, your 3-point shot has been huge for this team. Well, how's that confidence been for you from beyond the arc?
I mean, just coming into conference play, you know, I know I wasn't shooting it that well. So that's something that I really emphasize on, like, when I'm working out and stuff. I try to get a lot of threes up. And then another thing is, like I always say, it's just confidence, you know. My coaches, like I always say, they'll give me a lot of confidence to shoot the ball. So I just feel like all that contributes to me progressing as a shooter throughout the year.
Coach Claxton, can you talk about the leadership that Zach Hooks has brought for the younger guys, him coming in as a graduate transfer?
You know, he's our energizer bunny, and when he's not out there, it's pretty quiet. So it's good to have him back, and you know, he's somebody that these young guys can learn from. He puts the work in and day out, and that's why he's a good player.
Speedy, as a guy who always started here, as a guy as an assistant coach oversaw a small rotation, what's been the most challenging part about guys like Omar and Caleb into the flow and having them play as well as they played in somewhat limited roles when they're both used to starting?
That's the tough part. We have a very talented and deep team, so you know it's good in a way because you know some nights these guys are gonna have off nights, and there's always somebody that you can go to and somebody that you have confidence in. But you know, you never know when your number is going to be called. Like Jalen didn't have a good game today, but somebody else stepped up. Somebody stepped up. CB played a lot of minutes. Omar played more minutes. So it's kind of like from game to game, who's going to get the minutes. I mean, who's producing is going to play.
Hey Coach, we knew that coming into this game, defense was obviously going to be important, playing that 40 minutes of defense. It was back and forth basically in the entire game. You know, at the end, you needed a couple stops. The past 4 minutes before Mike hit those 2 clutch threes, you guys had 4 minutes where they, you know, didn't score any field goals. So just speak on the difference between the rest of the game and that last 4-minute stretch that you guys really were able to
Yeah, you
get
know,
this game.
one of the biggest keys in the game was protect the paint. We wanted this to be a protect the paint game because you know we know they have drivers and they like to get into the paint, so we had to keep them out the paint, and we kind of let them get going there for a little bit stretch. So we refocused during one of those timeouts and told our guys, like, listen, that's the game. If we could stop them and keep them out of the paint, we could win. And to these kids' credit, they did just that.
After Saturday's game, you talked about how, as the season's progressed, you guys have played and won tight games. Do you think your group is at a place where they feel comfortable playing tight games?
They might feel comfortable, but I don't. These guys are way too close to me. But to these kids' credit, man, they stepped up, man. They've been good in late game situation, and hopefully that continues.
Coach, kind of related to that, 21 lead changes, first place team. You know, it kind of well played game. You know, high energy, both teams from the start. Kind of felt like a tournament game a little bit.
I would say so. You know, it was 2 really good teams on national TV going head to head. It was big for both programs. Thankfully, we came out on top, but that's a good team. Not too many people are going to want to see them come tournament time.
Speedy, I know you and Mike always say you don't still identify as a man-to-man team, but the zone has been working so efficiently this season. Do you want to start working at it even more and transitioning to that kind of role?
We're gonna go with whatever is working from game to game. If zone is working, we're gonna stick with zone. If man is working, we're gonna go to man. But tonight, yeah, zone worked for us, so we stuck with the zone. We knew that we could play zone against the same. So we did work on it. We did prepare to play a lot of zone against them.
Coach, can you talk about the impact of Jared Simons, especially him?
Yeah, Jay Simmons he's been great since he's been back. I wish we would have had him for the whole year, but he got injured there. But he's rounding into form, and he's definitely helping Bay out because Bay was playing a lot of minutes, and we probably would have worn him down if he wasn't playing all those minutes up until this point. So having J-Rod back is huge for both those guys.
Coach, Shaquem Phillips is such a dangerous shot creator. You guys held him to just 2 points, 1 to 4 shooting. How do you guys keep him so quiet?
This guy right here, man. This guy right here. He got to take all the credit for that one. We had a great game plan. Coach Paulie came with a great game plan. And this guy took it upon himself to keep him out the lane. We knew that was going to be a huge deciding factor. And to Aaron's credit, he did an unbelievable job. But now, that's going to be expected.
Aaron, that was a pretty intense game in Wilmington. I think it was only 9 days ago. Outsiders like to say revenge game or get it back, but was that close loss on your mind coming into today, preparing for today, and hoping to even it up?
I mean, it definitely was on my mind. They got us. Like you said, they got us when we played at Wilmington. I feel like when we played there, it was a lot of things that wasn't going our way too. I don't like to, give excuses or anything, but I feel like a lot of things weren't going our way when we were down there. So definitely, this was a redemption game for us, and we hopefully want to see them in the tournament and championship. Honestly.
So you guys in the first half shot a little bit under 30% from the three, 5 for 17. In the second half, that kind of changed. You guys were able to make those more often, scoring 43% of those. Were those just better looks, or you just got more?
No, we got. I think we got the same looks. We got quality looks in the first half. We just didn't make them. But we have good shooters, and we're going to continue to shoot the basketball. We're going to give these kids complete confidence because we know they can make those shots. They put in the work, so it's going to show. We're struggling right now, but we're going to keep at it.
Coach, I'm just looking ahead. How much does pulling out a game like this, rather than the alternative, change your outlook going into these next 3 road games?
It doesn't change much. I mean, we got to take every game, serious, and every game means something. Even if we would have lost, we still would have had to win the next game no matter what. But even now that we won, we still got to go out and try to win. I mean, every game is crucial at this point coming down the stretch.
Speedy, I know how much obviously Jonah Halleck means to you as a mentor. To have his game coming up in a couple of weeks and then even just embrace afterwards, what does that just mean to have him in the building every single night?
It's unbelievable, man. I just truly love Coach Halleck, and I enjoy the fact that he's around every single day. Whether it's a game, practice, shoot around, he's there, and we love him, man. He's always gonna be part of this program as long as I'm here.
Last question?
Aaron, walk us through the experience of moving to your left, coming off of a screen, and seeing James Baker or Mari Kelly on you. How big and wide do you guys get?
I mean, honestly, I feel like when any 5-man switches on me, I should just have a field day, honestly.
No one can guard this guy. He's unguardable.
Our offense is really set to space the floor a lot. So if they do switch, the big man is going to roll, and I'm going to just really have a one-on-one with a 5-man. So I feel like that's really our advantage.
Thank you, guys.